What's up, guys? Obviously we're not in the workshop today. I'm coming to you from my living room at home. A few things have jumped into my head as I was going through some of the comments on my channel, trying to respond to them all and get back to you guys. What I've come up with is there's a bit of probably lack of confidence and maybe a little misunderstanding about stage 2 cam kits and how they are done. So let's get into it. So my regular viewers may not find this video as informative as some of my other stuff. This video is intended for new viewers stumbling across this and trying to find out as much as they can about stage 2 cam kits, what's involved, what they should be considering and what to avoid. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so a stage 2 cam kit. What is it? It is essentially replacing the OEM camshaft in your bike to a bolt-in stage 2 cam. So that process is as straightforward as it sounds. We remove the OEM camshaft, we install the selected stage 2 cam for your riding style, and we put that in with a few supporting mods and retune your bike, and away you go. It's very, very simple, guys, and it is a very basic procedure to do. Doesn't take long. It's literally ride in, ride out, same day process. Right. A couple of things to consider when doing a stage 2 cam kit. Upgrade your inner cam bearing. We want to upgrade it to the full complement bearing for strength and longevity reasons. Number 2, lifters. Now, most of you guys are riding around out there with a few thousand miles on your bike or kilometers on your bike, and the last thing I'm going to do is put a new cam in your bike with old lifters on top of it. I'm not going to do it. We are going to replace your lifters. Now, we're at a bare minimum, we're going to put OEM lifters back in it, but 9 out of 10 times we put a set of high capacity lifters in there from either Screaming Eagle or APE or any other aftermarket supplier out there. Third thing to consider is your adjustable push rods. Now, while they are not essential to a stage 2 cam kit, they do offer some benefits. What are they? Right, well, strength is one of them. Obviously, a stage 2 cam kit, it is not that big of a camshaft where it's lifting the valve way off the seat and stressing out the valve springs and putting huge loads on the valve train. It is essentially increasing the lift and duration, obviously, but the springs, the valve springs are still well and truly within spec and their operating capabilities to handle that. But we do want to make sure we have a strong push rod to avoid any valve train deflection. Now, the other benefit to them is the adjustability. So while we're adjusting the push rods, we can set the plunger preload in the lifter more accurately. We can set it right where we want. Now, guys, that's pretty much it. That's a basic stage 2 cam kit. Sure, you can add on to that with upgraded intake manifold and some fuel injectors and, you know, bigger air filters and things like that. But guys, the OEM intake manifold and fuel injectors are generally fine to run as a stage 2 cam kit. Now, before you jump in the comments and say you should upgrade them, generally you should if you are a power junkie and you think, I'm going to get bored of this cam kit in 3 months, 6 months, 3 days and want to do a motor kit and want to do a big bore kit. So sure, you're going to be buying injectors and a manifold then anyway. So we normally put them in a big stage 2 cam kit as an umbrella approach to future-proofing the bike, so we're not having to, you know, shelf out more and more and more each time. You know, you spend a little bit more to start with as a good foundation, and then you can add on as you go. That is why we do that. Now, of course, there are a few risks involved. Obviously, if you get a guy, the process out there is very straightforward. A lot of you guys, if you've got a pretty good mechanical understanding and knowledge of the 4-stroke engine, you will be able to put a stage 2 cam kit together very, very easily with a couple of basic tools at home. It's not that hard. But of course, there are some risks. You might get a guy who doesn't torque something up properly. He might adjust the push rods incorrectly. He may set the push rods incorrectly, time the cam incorrectly, whatever. And you may, valve might touch a piston. Catastrophically ruin the engine. Who knows? You might get a bad dyno tune. That is the biggest thing that will ruin a camshaft's reputation, is a bad dyno tune. I know for a fact there's guys out there that are riding around on bad tunes and they don't know. Well, they have been riding around before. They've come to me and we've sorted it out, but they've been riding around on cams that I know are silky smooth to ride, and they tell me it rides like a pig, and I say, well, it shouldn't. Let's take a look. Bring it in, and of course we find the thing's way too rich. It's just stumbling around, and we've got to lean it off, and it ends up making more power, and it's smoother to ride. So you may have a dodgy tuner, and you may have someone who's not the most capable when it comes to installing it. You want to avoid that. How do you avoid that? I can't give you any advice on that because I don't know who you're going to be talking to, but I, for one, do not claim to be the best tuner out there at all. Sure, I do a lot of it on a weekly, daily basis. I do a lot of dyno tuning, and I know how to tune these M8 engines to a pretty good degree of accuracy. But a couple of things you should consider when selecting a dyno tuner is their reputation. You want to make sure that they know Harleys and they understand the Harley and how it's tuned, because there's a lot of guys out there that tune, 4-cylinder leader bikes and motocross bikes and cars and different things. And sure, while they have an understanding of tuning, they should be able to cross-reference and translate some of that to the Harley. But Harleys are their own little animal because America, right? Now, you want to make sure the guy is aware of Harleys and how they respond. Ask him how many he does. Don't get your buddy's opinion on him, because your buddy may be mates with him and he may just be wanting him to get the work. So you want to try and ask as many people as you can. I mean, the internet now is a very powerful tool. You can see a lot of results out there and a lot of reviews. So do that. Same with your mechanic. Now, unfortunately, a lot of you guys may not have access to your technician at the dealership. You call up, you walk in, you get spoke to at the service counter by the service advisor or the service writer or the booking clerk, and your bike gets booked in and away you go. You don't even see the technician, and then your bike gets back to you. Now, that's unfortunate. Lucky for you guys who deal with me, you can call me at the dealership, you can email me directly, you can come into the shop and talk to me, get me on the phone, whatever you want to do, and we can help nut that out. Guys, if you do if you do take my advice, if you do give me a call, send me an email and want to chat to me, I would appreciate if you'd give me the work so I can, put my experience and knowledge into your bike so you're out there riding around happy knowing it's in the best hands possible. All right, guys, I hope that has cleared some of the smoke around the Stage 2 cam kits. Sure, there are a bunch of different cams to consider when doing a Stage 2 cam kit, but that is for another video. If you do want to check out the what I've done a video. This is actually right. It's right here. It is the M8 engine must-haves. Check that out. That goes into a bit more detail about some of the other things you should consider doing to your M8 engine. Thanks for watching this video, guys. It's a little bit different from my normal stuff. If you haven't subscribed, do that. It's free. Give it a like. Leave a comment. I'll get back to as many as I can, as quick as I can, and I'll see you next time.